I miss your old vlogs. That has to be, to this day, the most common comment I get on my new videos. And the truth is, I miss them too. I miss the opportunity to be able to talk casually, to be able to connect with you guys and share what's going on behind the scenes. And so, that's exactly what we're doing. I am going to be creating a second channel here where I'm going to be regularly posting. If you want to learn more about travel or how I'm running my two businesses, Lost Creator Academy and Lost LeBlanc, then this is definitely something you're gonna want to check out. But it is now time to leave Los Angeles. I've got a flight going back to Canada for the first time in a year and a half, and I'm gonna go surprise my parents. They have no idea that I'm coming. They have no idea that I even got vaccinated to come back. So let's do it. All right. 4.5 hours of driving later, we have arrived at my parents' house. I'm so excited. I haven't seen them in a year and 2 months or something like that. It's been a really long time.
Oh my goodness, am I not your birthday? Yes, of course, I don't mind.
Oh, cute! Oh my goodness! Kia, come.
Hi. Well, I'm in trouble. My mom said one thing and one thing only. Don't let Santos off the leash. The guy literally ratted me out. He just ran straight back to my family's home and I'm left here with 2 leashes. Anyways, gonna continue my little outdoor workout. I wanna show you guys what Kelowna is all about because this is somewhere that, I don't know, I didn't grow up spending much time in, but having my parents now move here, I could totally see this being like a rent a winter or summer cottage kind of place. That right there is the lake. It's so stunning. Lastly, the best thing from Tim Hortons. Microwaved for 20 seconds.
Dang it, you already got to it.
Did you get one?
That's worth it. You're having like this much.
No,
Yes.
you're not having any. Throwback to when I used to sell merch. I think my old merch guy actually used to scam me. Prepared some sparkling water, and today I want to talk about this. This is the fun of a second channel. I can talk about things that would never make it on Lost LeBlanc. But I'm back home in Kelowna, and as I was kind of home, I was going through the boxes that all got packed when we moved, or when my family moved. Yesterday, I helped my dad kind of like organize the garage, get out a bunch of equipment. With that, I found this right here. Super, super cool. Now, this is a very simple little flyer, and this was my first ever legitimate business. Roughly off the top of my head, it probably netted me about $12,000 to $15,000 Canadian, so about 10,000 US dollars, and all that while only working 1 day a week. Let me explain. So pretty much every summer in university, I was doing construction, usually about 5 days a week, 10-hour days. I was working for any contractor that would offer me a better rate. So I kind of shifted around each summer, usually finding someone that offered that extra $2 an hour, moving from place to place till maybe I started making about $22 an hour, which, you know, was pretty good money considering I was still in high school. It was my last 2 years of high school and even a year of university, but essentially, I wanted to earn more. My parents were incredibly generous. They did cover the expense of my education, but all my living expenses, staying in a dorm or buying my daily food or going out with friends, anything that was outside of the actual textbooks and tuition, it was on me. So in a summer, I could probably earn about $10,000, maybe $8,000 on a wage, but it was not enough to afford downtown Vancouver living. So I needed a new way to make money. At this time, I realized I didn't have a lot of skills. I had no photography, no creative skills, so that was completely out of the question. I never even thought of that. So I kind of realized, okay, What do I have to offer? I have my physical labor, and I also have the friends that are around me that are looking for work. Now, most days in my construction job were boring. Some days I was literally on my knees for 8 hours pulling staples out of the ground where the carpets once laid. And some days I was in an attic taking insulation out, getting covered in fiberglass. That's probably some of the worst experiences of my life, but that's not really the point of today's story. The point is, I had long days, long hours, and during those days, I used that time productively. I asked myself, what can I be doing to be furthering myself, to be earning more money so that I can have more enjoyment in my school year, but also to be able to have some reserves. I've always been a bit of a saver. So I started realizing I need to find a business opportunity, and that's when it came to me. I'm going to start a landscaping business where I will go and find the contracts. I will be the salesman who finds the people that need the yard work done, and then I will then employ my friends. That way I can still work my construction job while sending my friends to go and do the work. And I'll pay my friends a fair wage and I'll skim the top. The portion that I'm able to upsell will be my take home. Now, how am I gonna find people that need yard work? That was my next challenge. And I thought the solution was actually pretty straightforward, as is the solution for most things. I think a lot of the time we overcomplicate things. We think it's super hard to open a business. But if you take the time to really think about what is the business you can immediately offer your skills for, what is the business that doesn't have a big barrier to entry? For me, the only barrier was buying a hedge whacker and a couple other clippers, gloves, and some other little tools here and there. My parents already had a lawnmower. They were generous enough to let me use the lawnmower on the weekends. And so that was a very small barrier to entry. I went to Staples, dropped about $100, probably got about 2,000 or maybe 3,000 of these flyers, and I started spending my weekends and my after hours of work going door to door and knocking. I usually would drop it in the mailbox if it seemed like no one was home. I didn't want to wait around if I didn't see a couple cars outside. But if I saw a car or if I saw someone there, I would go strike up a conversation. 9 times out of 10, the people that became clients were people I actually had the opportunity to see face to face. This flyer was effective. I got some calls out of it, and maybe half of the calls would take the bottom offer. It says here, introductory yard care, $20. And the reason I did that was because I wanted to get the hook. I wanted to give somebody the opportunity to experience my service with almost no risk. And so I would say about half the calls materialized into an introductory cut, and from there, almost 90% of people stayed on. And I remember at the start, I didn't know how to price myself. I didn't know how long it would take me or my friends to go and do that work. So at the start, I actually priced by hour. I said each of us are $20 an hour, and I would send 2 or 3 friends and I would go work my construction job. So if I paid my friends $13 an hour, I was making $7 for each hour that they worked for each person I sent. And if I had a large yard project where people were working for like 2-3 days, I could easily net a few $100s on those kinds of projects.
And sparkle and ding.
And then from there, my weekends were the days I didn't have construction. So on those days, I would do my lawn mowing. We'd load up the lawnmower in the back of my mom's van. Took 2 people to get it in there, so I always needed a friend with me. I would probably have about 8 different lawn mowing projects all lined up. We could bang them out in about 6 hours, and probably it's about $100 an hour I was earning after paying out my friend. And the only downside to this was I gave up my weekends, which was honestly really challenging. Some mornings I woke up and I remember in bed being like, I don't think I could do this. I don't want to get up. I'm so tired. But ultimately, those are the periods of my life that set up the rest of my life for success. It's where I learned those work habits that sometimes you're going to push through moments of discomfort, moments of extreme uncertainty. But if you realize that deep down inside, you can do this, you can push through it, you will become so much stronger. And one thing I also want to add is that just like anything else in life, whether it be going for a date or selling your landscaping business, marketing is very, very important. One of the things I want to point out is we didn't just call ourselves, Christians Landscaping. We called ourselves Green Thumb Grads. I want to sell the fact that we are students, we are broke students saving up for our education. And I think that there's a lot of people that sympathize with that. There's a lot of people that were once upon a time a broke student. The reason I bring this up is because maybe you've got your competitive advantage too. Think hard about what it is that your thing could be and get started on it, guys. Doing these little projects, you prepare yourself for the bigger ones and then the bigger ones. And that's the beauty of business. If you love it, if you enjoy this, if this is a passion of yours and you enjoy what it can do for you, it is such an exciting and exhilarating thing to go from 0 to 100. That number no longer exists, so yeah, I wouldn't bother. And my next project is almost ready for export. Such a good feeling. I've been very, very grateful that my team that I've built has been able to get my edits to like probably the 95% completion mark now. So it means that when I take over the edit, I'm probably only spending maybe 3 hours, 4 hours on it. You know, these projects that we do for Lost LeBlanc just take so much time. And if I was doing everything, I would not be able to travel. I would not be able to do anything for LCA. Anyways, the next video is a good one. It's almost ready for export, but we got something to do. Ready?
I'm gonna go pick up some millimeter pie.
So we've been really bad with our diet the last, I would say 2 months, but really like the last 3 days have been really bad.
The last 3 days, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
We had
it's been bad.
so much bad food at Burning Man, especially because
Yeah.
they lived off of hot dogs, chocolate banana chip muffins, like
When I first arrived, I surprised my parents, and it was a really special moment, really, really sweet. And the next day, I took them for dinner at The Keg, and The Keg is one of my favorite restaurants. It's like a steakhouse franchise here in Canada.
Yep.
But the thing that we're going on our way to grab now is just the dessert. We're gonna bring the dessert back to the house, but it's like an ice cream mocha pie.
If you have ever been at Duke's,
So
it's just
good.
like their hula pie.
But the problem is it melts, so.
It's so good.
No, that's just my hand.
We'll give her
Ready? So Ruby's going back to LA to do some modeling, do a little bit of work, and just save up a bit of money. And the beauty of dating a photographer, videographer, is that you don't need to pay the $1,000 to get nice headshots. So we've just turned my parents' kitchen area into a little impromptu studio, and it's actually looking so, so good. I want to show you guys some of the photos. That is how we got something that looks a lot more like this. Oh, the last bag has been closed. So it's time to say goodbye to my little furry friends. You can see she's so sad right now. She's seen us packing our bags. It's really sad. Said goodbye to my family, the dogs, and yeah, I'll be back soon. I don't know exactly when soon is. That's the reality of my life. This week, I'm going to Miami, and then I'm going to LA to see her, and to go to Vid Summit, which is like a big video content creator conference. And other than that, no idea. I'll be back to Canada, hopefully very soon. So this is Canada's fastest highway. You can do 120 kilometers an hour, but right now you wouldn't want to do that because there's a lot of fog. It's about a 4-hour drive to get back to Vancouver. It's gonna be a long day. So, we back in the hood.
Okay.
This is White Rock. This is where I grew up, my little suburb. It's where my parents lived up to like a year ago. It's kind of sad that we no longer have any ties here, but we have something special here.
strangers.
I'm so proud of him. He's gone on to be a professional bike thief. Well,
Don't hurt yourself.
take care. See you guys. I'll find that bike on Craigslist.
All right. Taking the pizza.
Christian,
Want
I
some
have so
za?
many
Bye,
things.
brother.
Give it
What's
to
up,
Christian.
YouTubers? Check out Vlogtown.
My brother had a YouTube channel for like 2 days. It's got 4 videos.
2 days, 2 months.
How many videos?
I think we had 4 in the end. 100 subscribers at least. So
Let's go. Heck yeah. Vlog down, baby.
what
Give
can
it
you
to
do?
Christian.
And we made it. Literally like 5 or 6 hours of driving today, including getting to Vancouver. This is our hotel room, and it was like 140 US a night. Not too bad. It's actually pretty good. It's cheaper than Airbnb. And now gotta get into a little bit of work before we go to bed. It's like midnight here, but Ruby's setting a video live.
2.5 months in the making. Finally.
It's not about the destination, it's about the journey. Buenos dias.
Good morning.
So, today is our final day together.
We're breaking up tomorrow, so.
Be good for the video. But for real, we are gonna be doing long distance for I don't know how long. Ruby and I have been together literally every single day, aside from like maybe 1 or 2 weeks, for a year and 3 months now. And it's been awesome. It's been really incredible. But Ruby has been in a position where I feel like it's better if you talk about it, right?
Well, yeah, I kind of left my home in LA and I left behind a bunch of family, friends, work, and kind of embarked on this new life with my partner. But I think it's a good time for me to go back. I model and act, and when I left LA, I didn't expect to just leave for over a year, so I'm gonna go back, hang out with some family members, friends, work on my modeling, my acting, and then at some point, go back and meet with you.
We've got a couple of keys here. Our hotel comes with a bike rental. I'm gonna show Ruby around this beautiful city because this is where I've called home for majority of my adult life. And then we're gonna go to the best breakfast in the freaking world. We went there when we first landed.
This is a bad idea. Okay. Oh my god, that's so cute.
We really underestimated how cold it would be.
Yeah, I'm basically wearing nothing on a bike and it's so cold and windy, but I'm okay.
Luckily, I haven't experienced winter in like 6 years. I basically just leave.
I was gonna say, I feel like we've become so out of touch with the seasons. It's constantly summer where we are.
Like almost irrelevant.
Weird to see this.
Oh, you guys have winter? I remember when I used to see snow. I live in Bali now, yeah. How bougie is your city? Do you have chandeliers underneath your overpasses? Because we do. In Canada, we have chandeliers and free healthcare.
That's true. I'm excited.
Ruby is all packed up and we're saying our goodbyes. I was hoping to have like a full chat and just talk about like what's going on right now in our relationship, how we're going to go our separate ways for a little bit. But Ruby just remembered that despite her flight being in 3 hours, she forgot to get a COVID test. And this is the first time we've ever really done long distance. We've been apart from each other for a week at a time, twice. Yeah, a new chapter in the relationship, also very healthy. Like honestly, I think transparency is.
I'm really tired of him, and it's
I'm
time
sick
for me
and
to go
tired of
somewhere else
your
for a
face.
while. Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I just honestly am very excited in my own way to be so selfishly on my own, thinking about nothing but me and my business. I really am excited about this chapter, to be able to wake up in the morning and not feel like, oh, I'm gonna stay the extra hour and snuggle. It's like, no, I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna go on a run, and I'm gonna go straight to work for 12 hours a day.
I don't make you want to wake up and go run.
No, you make me wanna snuggle.
Oh.
I don't wanna get out of bed. It's so nice and warm when there's someone else in it. See you soon. Say bye to the vlog.
Oh. No.
Freedom!
Hey.
Love you. Oh, sad. What a beautiful sunset. It's so crazy to be back in the city. I know I've said this story before, but you know, this is literally where it all started for me. This is both flashbacks to good times, but also some of the hardest times of my life. Now, not only is this where I used to work as an accountant, but this is also where I started my journey as a content creator. I remember the days where I'd be too ashamed to do this in public. I wouldn't have the confidence to hold my camera out and proudly vlog. I would have to hide it because I was so scared of what others thought of me. And it's incredible that the confidence has come through repetition, but also somewhat through success. And for some people, they'll be naturals, they'll be able to look past it, but I wasn't a very confident teenager, and I think a lot of YouTube was going against the grain for me, to go and make myself vulnerable, to put myself out in public for people to criticize and judge. But again, it just came down to doing what I loved, even though it was so far from natural and so far from easy at the start. And if there's one thing I'm proud of on this channel, it's having shared that message. I pray, I hope that at least a few people have decided to change the course of their lives for the better and stuck to it. To be honest, it's a bit of a funny feeling being alone. It's been a long time since I've had that true quiet alone time, but it feels really good. It motivates me. It makes me want to like spend time to brainstorm how I can make my business better. And I was just watching this this YouTube video on Mr. Beast and how he's like reinvesting all his profits. He's going through $4 million a month in expenses on his channel. And it just makes me realize I'm just scratching the surface of what I can do with my own channel. Can definitely say this business still gets me excited. You ever get a moment in your life where you just feel like, that's my big idea. That's what I'm gonna do. Well, from when I last talked to you guys, 3 hours later, I went for dinner, went for a walk, watched the sunset, and just was deep in thought with myself. And I think I came up with my idea. My potential change with Los LeBlanc. Could be nothing, could be something big though. I think it's something big. You'll see. All right, guys, and I'm gonna be gone for, I don't really know. I've got a couple client jobs that are taking me to the Middle East. One of them is tentative, one is confirmed. So that's the reality. You don't always know where you're gonna be with this job. Usually I don't even know where I'm gonna be next week. There's always 3 or 4 things that are up in the air and maybe 1 or 2 of them materialize. But yeah, it's kind of an exciting thing. Sometimes it's a bit of a downer because you wanna know when you'll see your girlfriend next. But anyways, Chris is a reasonable substitute.
That's right. We actually have the perfect height ratio, so yeah. I'm Big Spoon.
So Chris literally got handed my passport when we checked in and I got his. Apparently we look like twins with masks on.
Yeah, right?
The client has kindly upgraded me to business. I generally am not a big fan of spending my money on that kind of thing. I'd rather, you know, just put up with the back seat for a 12 or 16 hour flight than give up an extra $1,000 or $2,000 in some cases. But when the client is paying, you better believe I'm gonna enjoy it. It's one of the most incredible luxuries of life, and I don't put that lightly. I love flying business, but only once have I ever paid for a cheap upgrade. The truth is, like with my business, if I was upgrading everything, hotels, flights, and doing it for my entire team, like expenses are high in this travel vlog business. So you have to be smart where you choose to spend your money. For me, I'd rather save it, have it available so that I can do investment properties. I'm currently looking in Miami. Had to put a bit of a pause on that. Didn't find the spot I was looking for, but I think I'll be going back in about a month. And vlogging in airports always sucks. There's always announcements. So anyways, and the building in Bali is coming along, guys. I'm really, really pumped. We haven't actually broken ground in any way, shape, or form. I haven't even found my builders yet, but the architects have done such a great job with the first design, and I'm really pumped about it. I'm excited to even make like a series out of it, and the way I see my second channel kind of taking form, it's probably gonna be second channel content. More on that to come. But return to Bali is still up in the air. So is next week and the week after that, and pretty much my entire life. Don't know where I'll be. Unfortunately, Chris is not upgraded. Chris, would you be mad at me if I went and peeked in the business lounge? I'll sneak you out like a brownie or something.
Just stuff your pockets with snacks.
With like hash browns, tater tots?
Perfect.
Hey, Chris. This has been the first raw vlog of many to come. So if you guys want to see more, you already know what to do. All right, guys, let's get found again in the next one.